Hi everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to do a Cyberpunk 2077 makeup look. To start off, I put some contacts in. My character has purple eyes, which I feel like is definitely very futuristic, and if you don't want to wear contacts, that's perfectly fine. For this look today, I'm going to be wearing a wig, so I'm just putting my wig cap on here, and because I have really curly hair, it's taking me quite a bit to figure out if everything's in the right spot. However, I feel like with this look, you can definitely use your own hair and be like your own avatar of V and create your own character. To start off, we'll be using a primer. I am currently using the MAC Strobe Cream only because I think that this is more plasticky and it has that underglow when you put your foundation on top. When I put my foundation on top, it may look a little bit lighter, but that's okay because we'll be doing contour, blush, and we'll be having little bits of cyberwear on top as well. Make sure you get a good even coat on your face in preparation for your foundation. For foundation, I will be using the Fenty foundation, it's in the name, and I am so white that I have to use the color 120. Using a buffer brush, I am buffing that into my skin to get a nice even coat. I would recommend using a brush over a beauty blender because beauty blenders and sponges have a medium to sheer coverage. However, if you're wanting to be a porcelain doll like I am, covering even my lips, I would definitely recommend using a foundation brush and then going over and blending. You can tell that I'm really wanting to blend it out and make it look even. I swear I am definitely this white. And on to the next step. Next, we are wanting to conceal that we are indeed human. We want to look as porcelain and as robotic as possible. I am using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Fair because, again, I am white. Any concealer will do as long as it is full coverage. We are going for that robotic look that is very indicative of Cyberpunk and especially Night City, with how many different nationalities and how pretty much anyone can make it in Night City. You want to make sure that you're as covered as the Excelsior package from Delman. For contour, I am using the NYX Wonder Stick. Honestly, I love this product so much. It's so easy to use and it's so simple. Like, even a beginner can pick it up and learn how to contour so quickly. And especially being made by NYX, it's just quality. It always performs so well. Honestly, definitely recommend this one if you prefer a cream contour. However, I don't really have a recommendation for a powder contour, but I definitely recommend this one for first time contours, and especially with blending it out, it just blends out like a dream. You may have to blend out a little bit more depending on how much you build up, but we are trying to look a little bit human. Not a lot, but a little bit human. Especially if you are going the corporate route or even the nomad route as well. I just said route differently, oh my gosh. But I definitely feel like I more identify with the corporate route. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really find myself being attracted to a lot of wild street kid, maybe nomad in the next playthrough when I actually finish the game. There are too many side missions, but tell me down below what route you guys went with and what you guys are doing currently in your game. I'm currently trying to go through all of the Delamain side quests with getting all the rogue AIs, and there's a couple of Easter eggs in the game already, like Gladys. Now for eyes, I'm going to be using the shade Exposed from the Mini Controversy palette. If you don't have this palette, use like a very light purple. We want to lightly buff this into the crease of our eye using wiper motions. That's the best way to describe them, and constantly buffing and blending that out. We want it to be a subtle purple as it transitions from like a normal color to the bold purple eye look, and that will help transition your eye to like make it look bigger, and also to make it look like you purposely did purple. Say that like 5 times. Purposely purple, purposely purple, purposely purple. Now, I went a little bit overboard with the purples, so I'm using the shade Cry on My Couch, which is a beigey skin tone color, to buff out the purple and make it look natural. If you do make a mistake like that, it's totally normal. Just keep blending, girl. You can do it, and it will look good. The more you blend, the better it will look. Using the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette, I'm using the shade called Coma. It is a dark mauve purple, and by going up on like a 45-degree angle, like this, it's weird to describe it, but using your lower lash line as a guide, I go up and flick it up and then go into my point, only because I've used it so much and kind of perfected this little technique of mine to like really widen my eyes and give myself a faux wing with my eyeshadow. I'm able to do it so quickly and just like off the cuff, but I feel like this kind of technique really suits any eye shape, especially those who have more almond or rounded oval eyes. To continue our little dark purple ombre eye look, I'm using the shade Extraction to blend out further so that it looks darker, and then going to light with our eyeshadows. This look can be recreated with multiple eyeshadows and different colors as well. In this part, I'm using the color Root Canal, which is a purpley pinky color, and blending it even more out. You can see that I'm really packing it on and tapping it rather than blending with a different brush. And there's the shade there and where it is in the palette. If you've got like pinks, purples, or any other colors like blue, you can definitely recreate this with the darker colors going to light. It's more just playing around with makeup. I kind of came up with this technique by myself, just playing with makeup. I definitely recommend having a play with makeup first to see how they blend together rather than just going for it like I did. And definitely at this step, make sure that you're packing that eyeshadow on, like get the most color you can onto that brush and smash it on your eye. Now, using a loose blending brush, I'm putting the color Glucose onto my inner corner just as it reaches my nose, and just lightly blending it in so that it can build up that ombre color, and even putting some of it into the crease so it looks like it's meant to be there and it isn't just like a blotch of color, and blending it in and making sure that all of the colors are somewhat blended into each other so it looks like that gradient effect is on your eyes. Again, keep on blending. You can do it. It's honestly, the more you blend again, the better it will look. It's just like blend and pray kind of method. And even if it doesn't look that good, put a pair of falsies on and that will just complete the look and make it look beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. Now here is the fun part. Using an angled brush, you definitely need an angled brush or something very straight. Using the shade T from the James Charles palette or a light brown eyeshadow, I'm going down at somewhat of a really acute angle on my eyebrows and connecting it to just before where my eyes sit on the iris, and then going down my eyes a little bit past my nose. However, I messed up here, so I'm going to use foundation and dab it onto my skin and blend that one out so it looks like it was never there. If you make a mistake, this is the point where you can definitely cover it up. Like, it's okay to make mistakes, but definitely make sure that you're able to cover them up and not set your face at this point, because you want to set your face as soon as you're happy with it and you're like, yeah, I'm going to take some badass photos with this and I'm going to be the V I was meant to be. At this point, I'm using my nostrils as a reference point where I go out and down by like 45 degrees from my nostrils, and then do a roundabout to where the tails of my eyebrows are on my face, which is why I keep looking at myself and making sure that they're symmetrical at the same time, which is a bit hard because I'm filming at this time. But when you face straight onwards, you can tell that one side is a little bit longer than the other. However, we're just making sure that everything is similar. Now we're going to complete a flat line, so think of like a hexagon or something like that, and we're going straight out to a roundabout where your little like hair ends, and then going up to your ears. In some photos with the male V, it curves up. However, with female V, it goes up to her ears, depending on what hairstyle you have. Using the darker brown in the James Charles palette, I'm using the color called Benny. This is to deepen it and make it look more realistic, because think of it like this: if you've got a wound or something on your face, it's going to go lighter and darker depending on how deep it is. So we're going to deepen the shape just a little bit more by putting it a little bit in the center and retracing our shape on our face. Now, you do not need to use these specific shades, but make sure you have a dark brown, a light brown, and some liner so that you can achieve this dimension on your face rather than just using a liner. If you want to, you can use liner for this. However, to make it look somewhat more realistic, I definitely recommend eyeshadow. Now, before lining, we've got to put these little metal bits on our face to make it look more cybernetic and otherworldly and more futuristic. So I dabbed, like, kind of patted the eyeshadow onto it, and you need to do it every time and stamp it onto your face. I use the shade Diet Cola from the Shane Dawson Conspiracy palette, because that was the one of the most pigmented silver shades that I had in my collection. If you want to, it can definitely work with gold and like rose golds. Even using some highlighters can help as well, but you definitely have to densely pack that one onto your face. Another word of advice: reference pictures. Use so many reference pictures depending on where and what you're wanting to put on your face. I keep looking off to the side because I'm like, is this the right spot for them? I hope it's right. Is it the right length? Like that kind of stuff. I honestly love looking off to the side, making sure that it's ultimately the most accurate makeup that I can make it. Now, my favorite part is using the liner. I'm using the KVD tattoo liner to go around the little metal nubs, or like little metal components, if you would call them that, to make them stand out even more on my face and be more defined rather than just a bunch of eyeshadow on my face. But oh well, it's all eyeshadow at the end of the day. And once I finish up those little nubs, I'm going to go around and define the line where it is the darkest. And it may be a little bit finicky. Some people have even put like little bits of special effects latex on their face for the little nubs. However, I'm not that hardcore, and keeping this as simple and as accessible as possible for you guys, I want to make sure that everyone can use at least something from their collection to remake this look, because this game is amazing. And there you can see the nubs all done going around my face. Now I'm going to use the liner. Oh, forgot one. I'm going to use the liner to go down the line there, and it's just the slightest line. You don't want a thick line, you just want the slightest line to make it pronounced so that it looks somewhat like celluloid. I don't know, it's kind of like cartoony at the same time, but you're drawing these around, and you're even going to go through your liner as well, which may seem a little bit counterintuitive, and go through the eyeshadow. But think of it this way, these are like little separate bits to your face being all smushed together. You're like a puzzle piece on your face so that everything connects. Make sure you do your eyeliner with your little cat wing if you want, and keep as straight as possible. I know it's hard, it's your face, but it's going to be worth it, because when you close your eyes, it's going to be a straight line rather than a really like jaggedy, crooked one if you were to do them while your eyes were open. It comes from trial and error. I don't know why I know that, but definitely trial and error this one, which is definitely why I'm like, don't set your face, because if you make mistakes, that's okay. Now for this final part of my eyeliner, I'm continuing my eyeliner to the point where it's so thin on my upper lash line, and somewhat connecting it so it's like a jagged edge on the inner corner, so that it's kind of like a knife point or its own little wing. I find that this looks very futuristic to me, and maybe what a lot of like makeup will look like in the future. I know a lot of people are using this to very accentuate their eyes to make them look longer and somewhat, I don't know, more elegant as well. Now, since we're done our little puzzle piece special effects on our face, we are going to put blush on our face. Be careful not to put them on the little metal bits, but if you do, the next step will definitely help. I'm doing this so I don't look as white as I did in the beginning of the video. Now, using a Too Faced Quickie Eyebrows, I'm just quickly doing my eyebrows because I've done the little metal components now, and my eyebrows are looking very naked and ratchet, and I need to do it so that I have a good face. And by not doing your eyebrows first, you're definitely saving yourself time if you mess up the metal components. Now, I don't use faux eyelashes or falsies as we call them in Australia. I curl my eyelashes and then use mascara, doing a little wiggle and then up. I'm using the Benefit Big Bang mascara. Then using the Fenty Kilowatt highlighter, I'm highlighting my face before using a smaller brush to highlight the little metal components. You definitely don't have to do this step. However, I'm using this step to have a little bit of flair, and so that it's somewhat metallic and it reflects the light, because you would expect like little metal bits to reflect light off your face. If you want to make it shinier and you don't have highlighter, use a silver eyeshadow like the one you used and keep packing it on until you are happy with the look. And because I'm extra, I'm going to apply it to multiple areas in my face, such as the cupid's bow, the little tip of my nose. I like to highlight that. That's just a preference. You don't have to do that. I'm not going to make you do that. And even in the inner corner of my eye and just under the eyebrow, because I'm just that extra and I love to be shiny and also a disco ball at the same time. Once finished highlighting the areas of your face you want to highlight, like the inner corner of your eye, I will be using a little gloss or a dark lipstick. Make sure you blend that one out. I didn't, oops, but I did at the photo face, so that's all good. Using dark colors can accentuate your eyes, and especially with Cyberpunk, with it being very dark. So now that we're done, we can put our wig on and style our hair the way we want and get our outfit ready, get our guns, and get ready to hack some bad guys. Alrighty, so here is the finished look. I hope you guys found this video very informative and very helpful in your journey to be the cyberpunk badass you are. Comment, like, and subscribe to see more videos like this one, like makeup tutorials and quick little cosplay videos. I'll be uploading weekly for the rest of the year. Up until the new year, I'll be uploading monthly. I hope you guys have a great Christmas and New Year's, or a happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!